Yeah, your AI is as good as the data you feed it. So if you don't have high quality data, you cannot produce high quality results. You can do whatever you want. It's just impossible. So that's why I think that having a movement that works together around the world to connect people together and gather data from all ethnicities, from all ages, from all genders is crucial, and it's missing. We don't have that yet. I hope that we will have it in the future.
Welcome to Entangled Health, where we explore the intersections of quantum science, AI, biotechnology, and human well-being. My name is Thomas, and I'm convinced that health innovation happens at the entangled boundaries, where cutting-edge physics meets biology, where consciousness research intersects with technology, and where visionary thinking transforms into practical solutions. We are bringing together pioneers, researchers, and innovators who are reshaping how we understand and experience health. My guest today is the award-winning team Azalosia, winners of this year's prestigious QInnovision Challenge, sponsored by the Werner Well Group and powered by the Acora platform. This remarkable team developed their quantum hybrid AI for predicting and understanding biological aging through an intense hackathon journey. Nujud, Sulafah, Nuruddin, and Arich Al-Muhaya, who unfortunately couldn't join us for the podcast today. We talk about the early sparks of the idea through the competition and beyond, including what the team envisions for the future. Beyond their innovative approach, Azalosia's work shows how bringing different voices to deep tech creates more powerful innovations for humanity's biggest challenges. And they are looking for partners. A quick disclaimer, all chats at Entangled Health are a co-creation between the guest and myself, and not an official statement from our industries. We are here in a personal capacity, so everything we share is just our own take, not the official view of any company, nor of my employer or any other organization. To add a little bit of dopamine, you can submit questions to the Entangled Health questions pool, and later in the show we'll dive in and the quantum algorithm, running on real hardware, picks which question we answer. Our guests add their question to the pool and then answer it live. And if we reach 1 million listeners, we might change the rules. But that's a bit far out. Stay tuned, and who knows what the quantum dice will reveal. Yeah, hello together. So today is really a pleasure to have more than one person in the podcast. So it's the team Azalosia, and you will learn later in the show what this name means. It's a really, really cool name. The idea of this podcast is really to bring together people who should know of each other. And I think this is typically done best to getting to know who we are, what we do, etc. And but before we do this, I have an opener, and I ask all my guests, so maybe in sequence, what came to your mind when you heard of Entangled Health, or when I first reached out and asked you to join the podcast. Maybe I'm not sure. Do we start with Nujud?
Yes, so it's really a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having us. Um, when I first saw Entangled Health, I thought this is a really good initiative. I read your email and find more about it, and cannot help but think about the futuristic aspects of health itself, and how I start mesmerizing on it and imagining a lot of things. One of it is when quantum takes over and start to diagnose people with quantum computers, and how that will reshape the whole health industry. So it's really amazing, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Sulafah.
Yeah, I thought that it is very cool that people are starting to recognize the importance of new technologies such as quantum in the healthcare. And I think that it's especially cool that we have a hangout place to connect with people from around the world and talk kind of unofficially about our ideas and our interests. Yeah, I think that it's pretty cool, and I'm thankful for you for creating such an environment.
Yeah, sure. So you don't see me smile, but you hear me smile. So thanks a lot. So yeah, thanks. Fantastic. So you mentioned Hangout. So it's really a kind of a Hangout, and the idea is really to talk between friends and not between official representatives of companies, bringing to to maybe the challenge that brought us all together. So a brief personal journey. If you want to share how it come that we talk today, who you are, what made you who you are, what are you doing? Is there anything? I guess we will talk about the Azalosia, what this means. So whoever wants to go first, just give it a go.
Okay, let's start with Nujud.
To give you a background about myself, I'm Nujud. I studied physics in King Saudi University, a reputable university in Saudi Arabia, and graduated with honor. After that, I went to KFUBM, which is also one of the best university in Saudi Arabia. So that embarked my other journey, which is quantum computing. I had master's degree in quantum computing, and from that moment, or that year exactly, when I graduated, I um, joined the challenge of a quantum information summit. So basically, I was active on LinkedIn, and one day, Malak, the CEO of the summit, saw my
Mm-hmm.
activity and how much work I put in this. At that moment, I was doing also networking things where I right now serve as a member board of the um, Quantum Saudi uh, let me association, Quantum
Okay.
Saudi uh, asso- association.
Are you?
So
Oh, you're heading? You're leading this, or are you active board member?
yes,
Ah,
um,
wow! Congratulations. So,
m-
and greetings to Malak, by the way, from here.
for sure. So I'm a member board of directors in
Mhm.
Quantum Saudi Association, and there is a lot of initiatives, basically where we raise awareness and about quantum technologies in Saudi Arabia.
Mhm.
So yeah, the timeline is I joined the Quantum Innovation Summit
Mhm.
and started doing this a project, and the really hard thing about it wasn't the challenge itself, but to find people that share the same
Mhm.
excitement and commitment as you.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it was really difficult, and to be honest, one of the rarest things in life to see someone excited and as much as competent also.
Mhm.
So that where I started to uh, accelerate on that matter to
Mhm.
find team members. And I gathered some.
Yeah.
Uh, None of them survived except for
Ah, wow.
Sulafah
Okay. I
and
didn't. I
the
didn't
reach.
know.
Yeah, okay, so we survived, thankfully. And Sulafah is really amazing. She's one of the smartest people I stumbled on my
Mhm.
entire life. To be
Oh.
honest, she's a computer scientist and She's a teaching assistant at Cafe OBM, where we met. She was also my roommate, so
Mm-hmm.
that's the our inside joke because when we presented our project in the summit, she didn't say my teammate. She said, "This is my roommate."
My
So,
roommate, okay. So you're entangled since a bit longer then.
so yeah, I will give the mic to Sulafah to
Yeah,
continue.
thanks, Nujud.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Nujud. And I'm going to compliment you back because you are the smartest person that I know. Sorry, Thomas.
Yeah, all good.
So anyways, yeah, I was contacted by Nujud, and she said that we have this great idea and we have this great project. Let's try to come up with something. So I started looking into papers and started talking with the other team members, talking to Arish, talking to Nujud, and the others just couldn't make it. So the three of us finally composed an idea and came up
Mm-hmm.
with Azalosia.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the word Azalosia is made out of two words. The first is an Arabic word which means eternity, which is Azal. And the second one comes from a Greek word called ambrosia. Ambrosia is a drink that the gods drink to live forever. So it's the
Mm-hmm.
drink of
Mm-hmm.
immortality. So we composed Azarusia from those two words.
Which is a brilliant idea. So I just wonder if it would make sense to educate our listeners to what the challenge was, because I'm not sure that. So you mentioned Nujud, it was the challenge we posed for the QInnovision uh, hackathon event, which was running for over half a year, I think. And actually, I was only sponsoring this challenge, but maybe you can educate me a bit more what happened in the meantime, or just also just mention what you made out of the challenge or how you interpreted the challenge I posed or we posed.
Sure. So the challenge was about longevity. So the idea was that Merck proposed a challenge for people to try and come up with a method for solving any longevity problem, such as aging, using the data that
Mm-hmm.
is provided online, and especially using quantum technology.
Mm-hmm.
So we tackled this problem because Nujud comes from physics and quantum computing background. I come from bioinformatics background
Mm-hmm.
slash AI, and
Mm-hmm.
Arij comes from bioinformatics background, but more on the biological side.
Mm-hmm.
So we covered different aspects and came up with an idea for this challenge that we will talk about more in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So we worked together as a team brilliantly. So I've never worked with anyone more smoothly, actually, because we can understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
We have ideas in common, but also we have expertise that we don't have. So we learned from each other a lot. For
Mm-hmm.
example, I learned what a qubit is. I've never heard of a qubit before from
Okay.
Nujud. And I've learned how to get from databases the data from
Mm-hmm.
Arish. So it was
Mm-hmm.
actually a great experience. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, we collected the data, we tested different methods, we came up with our developed method that we'll talk about in a minute. And finally, we uh, presented our initial solution to um, the judges,
Mm-hmm.
and they you were actually one of the judges.
I was one
They
of these, yeah. But I was not the critical voice,
yeah.
so I was just supportive, but I didn't. I was not deciding it in the end. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, it was a great experience overall.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And I think it was really interesting because we had this a similar challenge I posed as was framed as healthy aging. So really it was really super wide open just to say, is there any idea to use quantum technologies, in this case quantum computing, uh, to help people age better, or at least detect when they're how old they are. And I think biological and psychological and individual perceived age, and I think you really tackled a quite super interesting component. So if you want, we can just go a bit deeper into the technique.
So why aging is an important thing to consider? It's because we as people, as humanity, have came to realize that the root to most of our health problems actually is aging. For example, many diseases such as cancer are more prominent and more of a, our show huge increasing as we age. So, for example, they say do more scanning after 40. And
Mm-hmm.
that's because something happens, something that we are interested in discovering what exactly this something.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually our question.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is happening to our bodies after we pass, for example, 70 years,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly all of these diseases to start to come to us? Why is that? So this question, we as a team think that it can be answered not only using traditional ways because they take forever, but by using the great strong power of machine learning
Mm-hmm.
and quantum. So Nujud can talk more about how quantum can be utilized for complex data and how it can help speed up the process of this analysis.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, it's basically that we have so much data that might have patterns that we, as humans, it's very difficult for us to analyze this data and come up with these patterns and understand them and um, make something out of them.
Mm-hmm.
However, for a computer, a classic computer, it might be a challenge because the number of data is very huge. So the
Mm-hmm.
computer needs a lot of processing power that is almost impossible for a classic computer to do. What is special about a quantum computer that can process all this complex data? Uh, from the technical point of view, Nujud is going to talk more about it, but basically it can go over this complex data and go around all these different connections and possibilities and work even similar to how the data is connected. So it
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
works in a very close manner to how our actual bodies are working. It can connect many sources of data, multi-omics data, and finally come up with a recognized solution.
Yeah,
So,
this sounds really super interesting, and I think I'm not sure if you have patented it or if you can go into the deep technicals, but at least maybe give some overview on the idea of the transformer or the encoding, if you want.
yes, I think what Sulafah tried to explain is the quantum advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, to put this into the light, the spotlight,
Mm-hmm.
there is a quantum advantage, and quoting Richard Feynman, um, y- we cannot do a simulation of nature unless we have a computer that is based on quantum mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
So nature basically is quantum mechanics coded, So how can you simulate or evaluate anything in nature without respecting the laws and its kind of nature? So the nature as a quantum. So the best computers can do to simulate is a quantum computer. And yes, it was a proof of concept what we did. Um, and we didn't patent the idea and the code yet, so we can talk generally about it. And um, the problem itself, the aspect of the problem, start with the multi-omics, which is
Yeah, we worked with transcriptomics and epigenomics from uh, the immune system data.
Which is quite tough to get, I guess. I think that this was also one of the
Yeah.
challenges. And
It was one of the challenges, yes.
Yeah. And I think this is also an opportunity. So if somebody's listening in who can help out the team and make this to a product, just reach out to the team. So because we had a look, and I think it's really a shame that it's not really moving forward to the extent. So it could be it's very fundamental research, but I think there's some interesting thing. And just maybe if we reach a partner who wants to work with you, then just then dear partner, just do that.
Yeah, your AI is as good as the data you feed it. So if you don't have high quality data, you cannot produce high quality results. You can do whatever you want. It's just impossible. So that's why I think that having a movement that works together around the world to connect people together and gather data from all ethnicities, from all ages, from all genders is crucial, and it's missing. We don't have that yet. I hope that we will have it in the future.
Yeah,
So I think,
Sulafah, can you explain also more on the type of data we used? That she told me once we don't need the DNA to predict the age.
Yeah. So basically, my our idea was that age is something that changes as you roll rooms, as you age. So during your lifetime, that's my point. So that's why having the DNA data only is not enough, because the DNA data is what you inherit from your parents, and it basically doesn't change. So we need something that changes. We need something like gene expression. We need something like epigenetics. We need something like transcriptomics and so on. Things that change during your lifetime because of your lifestyle, because of what you eat, because of your genetics are involved in this too. But mostly it's about the lifestyle. So we can learn many things from this data. We can learn what lifestyles are responsible of having better aging process. We can know, for example, what genes are responsible of creating aging problems. We can say, for example, this gene expression is connected to this process in the body because it generates this protein, and this protein starts this 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 process in the body which causes this and that. So we can track this process. It's difficult, it's not easy, and it's not trivial. However, it can be done. So our idea was that we want to exploit this data and benefit from it to learn how the age of the person is the same as their biological age. For example, if a person is let's say 20 years old, however his biological age is 70, there must be something horribly wrong.
Something,
Yeah, maybe he always stays in the sun without any sunscreen, so he accelerated his aging process because of the UV rays that were
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
damaging his processes and his DNA and so on.
mhm,
So gene expression and transcriptomes and epigenetics are greatly involved in the process of aging. That's why we
mhm,
focused
mhm,
on them.
mhm.
However, as we previously discussed, we have a problem with the amount of data that we can
Yes.
get from public sources.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think it might be also quite complex to get eventually individual data. So as you just mentioned, it might be interesting to look at the same person at age 20, at age 30, and then he woke
Mhm.
up and didn't stay
Yeah.
any longer in the sun and eat more carrots or whatever. So did a healthy living, more sports, less smoking, less alcohol. So
Exactly.
all these very ancient wisdom to or
Mhm.
less stress, less cholesterol, whatever.
Actually,
Eventually, even
Arij was the one who worked on the data the
yeah.
most.
Mhm.
And she said that to get high quality data, because she does some filtering, to
Mhm.
get high quality data, she was filtering, like, for example, 20,000 out and only getting
Mhm.
11
Yes,
high
I
quality
can
data
imagine.
from the
I can
20,000.
imagine.
So it's
Yeah.
pretty rare.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think this is also one of the ideas that of this Entangled Health podcast. I'm not sure how many million listeners we reach in the end, but at least we have 40 I know of. Um, is really starting spreading the word, going out, and maybe somebody really sits on a trove of data and says, "Oh, I didn't know that you guys need this," and then just reach out and move this forward. I think if I recall in the pitch, you had a super long time plan of more than 20 years or what to product development, at least 10 years for the final product. And the longest part was, of course, really to have data collection and data cleaning, etc. I think it was a bit long, the plan, so I'm a bit more optimistic. But also, I think the good part in this is maybe Nujud, you can tell a bit on the quantumness of the approach. What was the data encoding? And I think we all know currently we're making big leaps, but we still are quite in the beginning phase. So
Mhm.
if things scale as they are proposed in 4 years, maybe we see something which is really useful. And this would be a good time just to bridge to collect data and do proof of concepts, because I think I'm currently working with 7 qubits or 8 for my random number generator, which works, which is a very shallow case. But if we really go about deep or long circuits, I'm not sure. Nujud, do you have an idea of the scaling of your algorithm, or what you did build?
Yes. So we did an AI model with
Mm-hmm.
transformers, and
Mm-hmm.
one part of the transformer is a regression technique. So um, I didn't do classical regression, but instead I embedded quantum
Mm-hmm.
circuit. So the regression part uses or utilize this circuit.
Mm-hmm.
This work took from me my life force, to be to be
Okay.
honest.
So
Yeah,
tell me more.
I'll tell you. So it was I think started it 3 month long process,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a 1 week where I was debugging, and this
Mm-hmm.
is the most annoying thing.
Yes,
So I
I
didn't
know.
shower. I didn't eat well.
Wow.
I actually lost 1 kilogram that
Mm-hmm.
week. So, so yeah, I wasn't sleeping very good. Also, I had so many. All that week was a sleepless night, but I slept in the day. So it was horrible week, but
Mm-hmm.
eventually the circuit worked, and
Mm-hmm.
that was crucial because there was less memory usage than the classical counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
And also the speed was a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There is a little bit of advantage, but that's critical because when you work on a simulator with maximum 8 qubit, or you will find so much disruption and
Mm-hmm.
errors, and everything will go wrong beyond the limit. So it is still very immature and limited at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of efforts in that regard with big companies like IBM, um, and they simulated molecules
Mm-hmm.
uh, perfectly. They published their results, whatever. So there's a progress in that area, but still not very mature, even with all the resources.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this concept that we proved, and everyone knows about it. But what is left is the engineering problem of it,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, to predict or uh,
Yeah, you're just
anticipate
breaking up, so I don't
what's the
hear your
progress in
voice.
the future.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
can say that I have read so many timelines of the quantum companies,
Me
and
too.
all the big achievements, and how they are going to engineer and upscale uh,
Mm-hmm.
and downscale the error rate, and work on their error correction codes, and fabricate as much um, uh, logical qubits they can fabricate. So there is a race right now, and after
Mm-hmm.
2030 there is a bottleneck where we can see some advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So in the 40s and the 50s, it's yeah, it's gonna be there, but this is the most critical uh, time to work on such problems. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we put this roadmap that I think from 2025 to uh, Sulafah, can you help me here?
It's
2040
a
or
two, it was for
2032?
to 32. It was
Yeah.
funny
Yes.
because it was to 32.
Yeah.
Those
But I
two
think
years are
yeah. And I think this was also, I guess this was also, I'm not sure if you have been the most honest ones in managing expectations in this hackathon challenge, because very often we are looking for quick wins and quantum advantage. And for some areas, it's already here. So you can do things you cannot do with classical. Then the question is, can we move beyond proof of concepts, or can we move beyond Mickey Mouse toy problems? And there's always this gap, and it's always 4 years. I mean, in some areas it really works, and to scale it on industrial scale or to detect aging for the human population, you need a lot of data, which
Yeah, we
means
are
we
a
have,
health problem and a quantum problem. It's good
yeah,
if we
yeah,
have finished in 20 years with a classical computer, not even with a
yeah,
quantum
yeah,
computer.
yeah. And I think I was just wondering, because this is also, I mean, it's not only about quantum, but I think it's always a race between quantum advantage or not quantum advantage. And then there's a beautiful presentation from Olivia Lanes, by the way, from IBM. I'm not sponsored by them, but who is just explaining that classical speeds up, then maybe there comes a time where quantum is a bit quicker, but we must not forget that also the classical computers are speeding up very much, and also novel algorithms appear. And this is really a dance. So one insight is fruitful for the other. So you just mentioned we have transformers, we have quantum, so you build a quantum transformer. I think this is fascinating days, and yeah, so
Sure.
Any idea on the additional value? I just ask out of the blue. Any idea on would we need novel kind of data like quantum sensor data with higher precision, or in our case it's more classical data like classical biomarkers and mRNA or snRNA? I just wonder if you have a wish to the sensor industry.
So there is actually something interesting. I just read about it in a paper a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was an experiment where they took some people and used electricity to slow down the activity of the left side of the brain,
Mm-hmm.
and other participants, they slowed down the activities of the right side of the brain. And for the control, they didn't slow any side of the brain. And they took a clock that generates numbers randomly.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked people from all the groups, from all the different groups, to try and think of a number.
Mm-hmm.
And what was interesting is that there was slightly statistically significant increase of showing the number that the participants were thinking of in the group where the left hemisphere was slowed down or the activity is reduced.
Okay.
So
This is
there
cool. So
is,
maybe we can link later the paper, because go and then
yeah, I have it. So what this shows is that there is even some things that we didn't reach to get the data from. There's something
Mm-hmm.
happening there. We think that there's something happening there. It's not a decisive way to say, yes, the psychic effect exists and people can control everything with their brains, whatever. No,
Yeah,
it's
rather
just
the
a
other way.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a beginning. There's
Mm-hmm.
something there.
Yeah.
So
And
This.
yeah, that's reminded me of the measurement axiom in quantum mechanics.
Mm.
So
So that go.
yes,
Yeah.
there's still so many schools in quantum that investigate this. When you measure electrons and you observe them, they start to behave differently, whatever. The double slit experiment,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and its aftermath. So it's still highly discussed, and there is a lot of interpretation around that. Um, Roger Penrose, the Copenhagen school, and
Mm-hmm.
the decoherent side. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a lot of debate and a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
investigation that matter. So
This is.
yeah, we can integrate both sides.
Yeah.
Um, we cannot have one point of a view to this problem
Mm.
and not integrated with the neuroscience, for example, and
Yes.
the
Yes.
brain
Yeah.
behavior. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is really cool, because the very first podcast I had was with Sadeh Ibrahimi, and he is also working on quantum sensors, and he brought me to a very interesting podcast series called the telepathy tapes, where the team was working with people or children with autism, and they
mhm,
really were able to have pre if you want to call it precognition. So they worked with quite some sophisticated texts, and this brings me to to your point, Sulafah, that with the experiment with the left or right side brain side inhibition. So I think there's so many different topics to explore, and some researchers do some work, and then it's related to on a fundamental level also what you mentioned, Nujud, with the double slit. So the other guest just before you was Dean Radin. He's working on a lot of different some say controversial, but he's just using his mind and doing statistics and measure stuff. And then there are things we're definitely not at the end of science. I think we're just opening the next door for a fundamental, interesting topic. And this quantum, I mean, since 100 years we have an idea what it could do. But I also think we lack eventually just one small open-mindedness to be open to also make use of these non-local effects that we definitely have in quantum. For me, the Born rule, so this why do these things behave as an ensemble in a statistics, and are they individuals or not? So this is super fascinating.
There is so much uncertainty, so much stochastic results, and you cannot be deterministic or sure or certain in a quantum. Those are the feelings that dominate. So for me, I have a story that I don't know if it's personal.
Go.
It's contemplation, personal contemplation on this, but I read into history and the complex numbers emergence. So when you go back in history and find where complex number came from, it was basically because they couldn't solve the quadratic equation without with the real numbers, and they have no idea what is imaginary number because it's not there. It's not in nature. It's not in anything felt or seen or sensed. So it was a very abstract notion. But this very abstract notion could solve so much equations that let happen of another or unseen or unforeseen even um, in nature behaviors. For example, in lasers and quantum, we use the complex numbers. So the previous or pre-complex number world and reality had no idea about what other reality is with the notion, with this abstract and imaginary notion. So that's what I feel happening with the quantum right now.
Yes.
You have no idea what that is. It's very abstract, and you try to when you try to tackle this problem, it's very complex too. But I believe that it will take the same path. We will see unforeseen uh, behaviors in nature um, based on what we know or discovered abstract in abstract.
So, and I
It's
just
like we
am always
updated our glasses.
and it's always interesting if you try to explain quantum mechanics to people who have not studied physics or who have a different background, cultural background or educational background, or just don't care. and then what we use in quantum is this interference that you have. Things have a probability, a potential, and if you square the potential, so take the potential of one times the potential of the other, and the potential can be complex, you get negative probabilities, which is a kind of an interesting thing. And by this, we use really the interference, so that you can really just cancel things out, and then by this with normal brains, with our senses, we just have, eventually we don't have a direct interpretation of these things, but we make use of quantum effects even in our perception that we just don't recognize subjectively. I don't know.
I think that our cells have evolved to exploit the quantum processes somehow. Our knowledge didn't yet reach how it's exploiting it, but we are starting to understand how the quantum processes are exploited. For example, there's a professor called Michael Levine. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly.
Yeah, we can paste it in the links.
His team is doing great and pretty interesting research on cells, and they are saying that actually genetics and all of these things that we are saying that are the blueprint of who we are just the hardware. They're merely tools where the electricity or bioelectricity that is somehow exploiting some processes that we are not we don't fully understand them. It is actually what is considered the software, and it somehow has something like an intention. And it's pretty interesting because I've came across many scientists that have individually talked from their perspective fields about this intention thing. So it's like consciousness somehow creates intention, and intention creates the changes in the reality. So I think that there are going to be in the future some quantum specific data that we can use in order to feed to our quantum computers that use quantum algorithms specifically developed for these quantum data.
Yeah,
We are just at the tip of the road. We didn't even put our foot in.
Yeah, and then the question is, do we still need the hardware to determine biological age? Likely we do. So I think it's a both. So you can run healthy age on a outdated machine or wrong machine, or you can just stay mentally fit or emotionally fit despite the fact that you have some gene defects.
Yes, exactly. You can read all the zeros and ones and interpret the message, but it will take you forever. Or you can just read the instruction that the programmer wrote and then just understand what's going to happen.
And then you can have the transformer to bring a bit of random in to make generative approaches of what it should work. Exactly. This is cool. So I'm just looking at the at the clock. So I think we're deep into.
I want to say the conclusion here is yes, we need to integrate the science the sciences to be working in a holistic way. So I hope this podcast does it, where quantum physics, neuroscience, and psychology, and whatever science out there is integrated, and we work on a more harmonic rhythm.
Yes.
So thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, so this would be my question, to say follow future plans or hopes or dreams, and you just answered it, Nujud. So I think this is really also my hope or my dream. I mean, you can dream of whatever you want, but really also a concrete hope that people get rid of their only I have inherited my truth and really start talking to each other and get a bit more open. Of course, you have your foundation, and you need the foundation to talk to each other, because if we don't have different foundations, there's no diversity, and then everybody's doing the same, so there's no surprises. So I think it's very good to be diverse, but also it's very important to be diverse and open. And so I think this is a long journey. And I think concerns, I guess we touched concerns that if we don't share data, or it's quite complex and the technology doesn't progress. So if you would have a dedicated concrete call for help, call it out, or else we can move forward to the random question if you want. Tell me.
Please help us, give us data.
Okay. So good. I had the idea to invite all listeners to submit questions, and also all my guests on the podcast can submit questions, and then a real random computer. So again, I did run it before the show, so it was again IBM Q on IBM, running a very small qubit circuit. And it's just for the experts. It's just a Hadamard gate and then a measurement on one qubit, and this 7 or 8 times. Actually, it's 8 times because I have more than 120 questions. And this gives back a number of a question. And then what I'm going to do before the show, I'm pressing this button. You will hear a sound, and then it's picking the question. And I'm going to read it. Just wait. So you heard it picking, bok bok. So the question is number 145, and it's called, which fictional world, book or film or game, might be a kid who had submitted it. So which fictional world, book, film or game would you most want to visit for a day?
Interesting question. I would say so the film is Agora 2009, and it was the part of the film before the Christians took over. There was historical. So yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to wander in the Agora market and see the Athena's library and the
Oh yes.
philosophy at that time, and their efforts and how they do figure out the geometry and maths. And I think it was very interesting, and we have lost the library,
Mm.
unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that there is so much lost knowledge, and that's why I'm curious.
Yeah, sure. Cool. Wow. Okay. Good. Thanks, Nujud. Sulafah?
Uh, for me, I'm a bit of a I have like whimsical thing. I would like to go to Harry Potter's world.
Oh, well.
I think that they have discovered how to manipulate matter. They
Mm-hmm.
call it magic, but maybe it's science,
Likely it is, yeah.
Science is magic.
pretty much.
Okay. Which house would you go in?
I cannot for the life of me pronounce the names
Okay.
of the houses,
Okay, don't worry.
but not with the blonde one.
Not with the blonde one, not Slytherin. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So now the deal is every one of you can submit a question, and because we're more than one, I'm just wondering if we should have then each answer question, or if we just everyone submits a question and then answers her own question. So we can even invite listeners to answer the question. Nobody did so far, but maybe something happens.
Okay. So for me, my question is, do you think that evolution works in a neo-Darwinian way? So does it like happen just basically by randomization and we choose whatever fit the environment? Or does it work with an intentional way? So does it, for example, go like, this is going to be better for my offspring, so I'll give it exactly this gene?
Mm-hmm. Very good question. Wow. Interesting to see the answers. You want to answer it from your perspective?
From my perspective, I do believe in intention because, for example, new studies have shown that we do send some information about our environment to our
Mm-hmm.
uh, offspring. For example,
Mm-hmm.
if the mother was stressed, the stress from her environment is going to change the epigenetics of her
Mhm.
offspring.
Mhm. Mhm.
Even after giving birth, just breast milk feeding, the milk has higher levels of cortisol and can change the epigenetic of the child.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think that this information is going to be sent even without the effect of natural selection.
Mhm. Good.
That's
Wow.
I'm not a neo Darwinian.
Good. Which is good. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Nujud.
Okay, so my question is, um, imagine you have no senses and you cannot move, you cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot uh, feel.
Mhm.
Uh, what what is your way of figuring out what reality is?
Wow.
That's fundamental.
You guys are posing quite some tough questions for the pool. Good. Okay. So, and your answer?
Um, I think if we don't have or rely on our sensory and um, there is no objective reality. So there would be no reality, basically. The void. You will be living in the void. I believe our senses and whatever يعني we project into this world is what we believe is reality, but
Mm-hmm.
reality is far more complex and in ways, and it comes in ways that we cannot grasp. So, what assure you that the table or the seat in front of you is a table,
Mm-hmm.
other than your sensory, and what shape and form and feeling and sense. So yes, I believe there is no objective reality, and if we were to progress in the future and we have more complex consciousness, يعني
Mm-hmm.
we I mean we complicate um, our consciousness become complicated, then we can see reality in different form. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Wow.
that's
Okay. So this means if we would have more than if we have no senses, there is no evidence for objective reality.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if we would have more than the senses we have, like we could sense sixth and seventh or whatever dimensions, maybe we
yes,
would learn how to time travel or whatever. Or I mean, or at least interact, or we could explain classical phenomena like telepathic communication or something like this. Just because we don't have the senses active, we just might use it without being able to explain it.
yeah. I
Cool.
have a theory in that regard,
Okay,
if
tell
you
me.
allow me. So AI took over. We can see AI tools everywhere and data centers that take so much space in our earth. So after AI becomes reality, so in this day and age, we have we have interacted with AI more than anything or any technology, I
Mm-hmm.
believe.
Mm-hmm.
So it is or been studied that people have the same idea when they the productive ideas. So it's the AI itself. Um, converges the idea of people and
Mhm.
shows you so much evidence. There is so much evidence that AI tools um, are used in even the highest aspect of today's reality.
Mhm.
And now it has been integrated in schools, universities, or whatever institutions. It makes you think that as a collective consciousness, a phrase from psychology,
Mhm.
basically Carl Jung, um,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
defined this concept. So,
Mhm.
what happened to the collective consciousness after AI become this huge or plays this huge part in reality? I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
um, our collective consciousness has changed, and it is going to change also. So yes, the perception of reality I was talking about might change as well.
Mhm. Mhm. This is a fantastic thought, and I'm just using the opportunity to pitch and hopefully soon upcoming interview with Jakob Lusensky. He's a psychotherapist and working with Young, CG Young. And he did build in Berlin. He did build a network of over 1,000 psychotherapists, and they exactly use AI and try to work on this topic. So
Oh,
I need to bring the two of you
Wonderful.
together. Definitely. So that
we
was a
can
good
connect
opener.
it.
Yes, definitely we will do. So fantastic. What I want to first of all really thank you is for this highly interesting just sharing your journey. I hope that it was also interesting for the listeners. I have these dreams. The shared dreams is that eventually there will be data for you guys to work on later, so people reach out to you. How could they find you, by example? So it's via LinkedIn, or how would people
Yeah.
reach you?
Yeah,
Okay,
LinkedIn for
Yeah,
me.
okay.
LinkedIn is good.
And I always love to have my guests to have the last word because I talk too much, so that's why.
Mhm.
and so, if there are any take-home messages you want to share on top of our psychological or philosophical statements,
Yeah.
I let you do this. So I say goodbye already now, and let the two of you close the session.
Yeah. So, as human, we have to stay curious. We have to always ask questions. And I encourage every single one of you to pursue some kind of knowledge because knowledge keeps us alive. It keeps our brains young. And I'm looking forward to seeing many scientists in the future working on problems such as health problems, quantum problems. And don't forget that we, as people, try to divide reality into subjects because it's easier for us to consume it this way. However, it's actually integrated, it's not divided. So stay curious even to other parts and other subjects, not only to your place of knowledge. And thank you. I would like to thank first Thomas for inviting us to this podcast and to even giving us this opportunity to talk about our interesting thoughts in a friendly manner. And then I would like to pass the mic to Nujud.
Thank you, Sulafah. I have nothing more left after Sulafah's word. Really beautiful. But yes, I would like to thank Thomas so much for this opportunity. We were discussing our ideas and thoughts privately, and there is no ear to hear us. So hopefully this will bring a lot of audience, and it would be uh, so interesting if we can share those thoughts to the world, whatever or whoever hear it can interact with us. So thank you so much for this platform. Other thing, yes, I would like to say this message and emphasize on it. Uh, Knowledge gaining and learning is a hard task. It's painful, and not a lot of people are comfortable with it. So, especially in this day and age where we rely on tools and whatever we see on the media. So it becomes abundant, but it becomes more difficult to analyze and filter and take on uh, um, what's uh, what's knowledge or information is with high value. So
Mhm.
this is painful for everyone. So whoever does that, uh, I uh, I would like to thank him a lot and um, tell him that or tell them that their efforts and um, how much they put into this field or whatever study and knowledge and research they are going through is with a huge matter. It matters a lot. So yes, I would thank them all,
Yeah,
and
dear
thank you.
friends, we are now entangled. Thanks for listening and for being part of this experiment at the intersection of quantum tech and health. If today's conversation sparked an idea, a critique, or triggered a question, please share it, and maybe your question is selected in a future episode out of the growing pool. And you know the game. If you like it, please subscribe, leave a rating, and entangle further by passing this episode to someone you think should join the gang. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep exploring the unseen with Entangled Health.